How to get $50,000 of 0% interest for a whole year with no hard credit check. Now, this is a play that I've shared with my Credit Vault and my Credit Gems community, and I might post it on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hit a thumbs up. So this play is gonna involve getting 3 credit cards, and they're all with the same bank, which is Goldman Sachs. Now, this right here is a GM business credit card. This credit card is a soft credit check on your Equifax profile. Now, I'm gonna drop some data points for you guys, some things that you need to keep in mind. Just because it's a soft pull credit card, meaning it's no hard inquiry, it doesn't mean that you can get it if you have bad credit. You do need to have some strong credit. Preferably, you need to have over a 680 score on your Equifax. They're not an inquiry sensitive bank, so it's not that big of a deal if you have a few inquiries on there, but make sure you don't have too many open accounts in the past 6 months. And this is obvious, late payments, collections, things like that. If you have that on your credit report, you probably want to get that off before you do any kind of applications or run any kind of sequences. But ideally, 680 plus credit score with your Equifax. Now, for this play to work and for you to get 50K plus, you do need to have an LLC or some sort of business entity set up. It could be LLC, S Corp, C Corp, doesn't matter. And the reason for that is because when we're applying for the GM business credit card, the first application that we're gonna do it through our LLC. So here's the application process. Just like any other credit card, on the personal side, they will ask you for your personal information. You do have to put your social. Put your social, do not put your EIN here. Some people think that by putting their EIN, they can get these credit cards with no PG, no personal guarantee. But no, this is one of those credit cards that you have to put in your SSN to get approved for it. Now, when you get to the business section of the application, you're gonna put in your business information. When it comes to the business structure, make sure you select the right structure. If you have an LLC, you put LLC, C Corp, S Corp, select the right one. Now, this is where most people will trip up when it asks you for your annual business revenue. Even if this is a brand new LLC that you opened 2 or 3 weeks ago, this is where you put what's called stated income. The stated income is the income that you are estimating your business to make in the next 12 months. So if you think your business can make $100,000, your annual business revenue on this brand new business can be $100,000. Expected monthly spend, just make sure that it's a number that does not exceed the income that you put. So if your income is $100,000 and you put that your monthly spend is $10,000, well, $10,000 times 12 months is $120,000. So your business revenue is $100,000 and your spend is $120,000. Do you think they're gonna wanna give you credit if you're spending more than what you actually make? No, because it shows that your debt is more than your income. So just keep that in mind. Towards the bottom here, it's gonna ask you what industry your business is in. Make sure you select the right information there. In business since, I always like to put that I've been in business for at least 1 year. Even if it's a brand new business, I like to put that it's been a year just to make it look a little better. And the number of employees is gonna depend on how many employees you have. If you have contractors, independent contractors, if you have VAs, things like that, those technically can count as employees. So don't be scared to put 2 or 3 or 4 if you actually have people working for you. And once you fill this out, you're gonna go ahead, hit continue, and this is where it's gonna take you to the offer page. The offer page is where they're gonna soft pull your Equifax and they're gonna tell you, congratulations, Timmy, you've been pre-approved for $20,000. Do you want to accept this offer? And that's where you go ahead and accept the offer. Now, I've seen some people mention that sometimes they do a hard pull on your Equifax. The best way around this is when you go through this application process, right? And you get to the offer and you get the screen that says, congratulations, you've been pre-approved for XYZ amount. You go to your Equifax. Actually, let me pull it up for you. Go to Google, type in Equifax freeze. It's free to do. You do not have to pay to do this. You create an account with Equifax, and then you manage your freeze. And then you can go in there, you can freeze your Equifax profile. And once you put that freeze on it, you go back to the GM business card application and you hit accept on the offer that you get. Now, if you get to the offer and they don't give you anything, or you get declined or you don't get approved, it means that there's something going on with your business or something is going on with your credit that they just didn't want to give it to you. However, if you did get approved, this is where the second part of the play comes in. You're gonna redo this entire application. So the first part, you did it with your LLC. The second part of this play is you're gonna redo the application as a sole proprietor. So you're gonna get 2 business cards, one under your LLC business and the second under your sole proprietor business. And by the way, I can 100% confirm that this play works because I have the proven data points and I've done it myself. So again, second time around, go in, do everything, fill out the business information as if you were doing an application for a sole proprietor. The only thing that changes there is your business address can be the same, right? If you put your business address as your home address, you can keep that the same. The only thing that's really going to change is when you're filling out the EIN, make sure that you have the EIN for your sole prop, or that you're doing it as the social security number for your EIN number. Sometimes when you're doing a business application and if you don't have an EIN, you can use the SSN in the EIN slot and it'll go through. And then obviously the business name is going to be different. For your LLC, it's going to be whatever your actual business name is, versus with the sole prop, the legal business name is going to be your first name and your last name. You don't add anything else. Don't put tech, don't put services, just put first name, last name. That's the legal business name as a sole prop. And make sure that under the business structure, you are selecting sole proprietor, and then obviously that you're 100% owner if that's the case. So now you have 2 GM business credit cards, and I'm very confident in saying that you can get approved for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 limits on these cards, because Goldman Sachs does give some very generous limits. So if you get $20,000 on one business card, $20,000 on another, that's already $40,000 right there. And again, these are 0% for an entire year. Now, some of you might have seen this coming, but the last part of the equation is the GM personal credit card. This is also a soft pull card, but there's a little trick that you need to run in order to get approved for it. Same thing as a business, you're gonna actually go ahead and apply for the credit card. Now, this is a personal card, so just keep that in mind. It will show up on your personal credit profile. The inquiry will not be there, but the actual account will show up on your report. So this does count as new credit. Keep that in mind. Pretty much, you're gonna select your design, you're gonna go through the application process, and you wanna make sure that your TransUnion credit report is unlocked. You're gonna go through the entire application, and similar to the business card, you're gonna get to a page. Once you submit everything, obviously make sure that you have an excellent TransUnion score, credit profile, TransUnion profile, ideally over 680. And when you get to that page where it says, congratulations, you've been pre-approved for this amount, do you wanna accept the offer? That is where you're gonna go and you're gonna lock your TransUnion. Just how you lock your Equifax for the business application, for the business cards, you're also gonna do this, but you're gonna lock your TransUnion for the personal application. Go to Google, type in TransUnion free freeze. You do not ever have to pay to freeze your credit profiles. You go in here, you manage your freeze, you can either unfreeze it or add a freeze. You're gonna add it, it takes about 2 seconds. It takes about 1 minute to do. If you haven't created an account, it takes like 3 minutes to create an account. Create the account, lock the profile, freeze the TransUnion report. Once you do that, come back, finish the application, and accept the offer, right? So if they approved you for $10,000, which is, again, very reasonable, Marcus, Goldman Sachs, is the same people who underwrite the Apple Card. There's a lot of people out there who have a $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 Apple Card. So you can also get a $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 GM personal credit card. And that's what's gonna put you at the 50K mark. You got 20K on the business, 20K on another business, 10K on the personal, $50,000, all with no hard inquiry. Oh, and if I didn't mention this already, the GM personal card is also 0% for an entire year. So you can run this in 2 different scenarios. You can either get all of them in 1 year and have that full 50K and use it that same calendar year, or you can get 20K 1 year and then the following year apply for the next card, and then you extend your 0% for another year. So now instead of having 1 year of 0%, you have 2, and then the third year you can get the third. So now you have 3 years of 0% APR, a 0% interest loan essentially, by just extending the 0% that you're getting. That's pretty much it, guys. This is a really great strategy to run up some funding without even having to touch your personal credit. No inquiry at all. If you guys run the play, let me know in the comment section below what card you apply for. Did you do all 3 of them? What limits did you get? Honestly, any feedback or any data points that you guys have, just drop it down there so other people can kind of read it and see, kind of like you guys can learn from each other's mistakes and experiences.